of this. During the Patriots' almost two-decade-long run as a perennial Super Bowl contender, the slogan, "Do your job," was a familiar line used by Bill Belichick to keep players focused on team responsibilities. The Patriots have 3 trademarks on that phrase, but that didn't stop the Dallas Cowboys from using it at their brand-new practice facility. Rob Gronkowski responding on Twitter, the Cowboys' new slogan sounds familiar. What are your thoughts? Hashtag #DoYourJobGate. Stephen A., your reaction?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, listen, let's give the Dallas Cowboys credit here. I mean, nothing that they do for themselves work other than generating publicity for themselves. They've been a walking piece of mediocrity. They have the most disgusting fan base in American history because they're so delusional, they're nauseating, makes you want to throw up on a regular basis. And now we've learned that it's not just bad enough that you've only got 2 playoff victories in 20 years, that you've been a model of ineptitude, that you've embarrassed America by calling yourself America's team, thereby allowing a world to associate mediocrity with the greatest country in the world. But now you reveal yourself to be thieves, because in the end, the real America's team, which is the New England Patriots, who have been a model of consistency, 4 Super Bowl titles, 6 trips to the Super Bowl, perennial title contenders, having only missed the playoffs in the last 15 years, the Dallas Cowboys decide to get smart but slick at the same time by trying to steal something from the New England Patriots to attach to themselves. They'll probably brand it, for crying out loud, trademark it, make money off of it, because we know how brilliant Jerry Jones is. It's disgraceful, but I'm not surprised. These are who the Cowboys are. Their fan base is they're the instigators for all of this because they accept this nonsense. So long as the Cowboys are going to win, or they think they're going to win, or they have an excuse to act like they think they're going to win, all is well with Big D until the games begin on Sunday. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised.
Well, I mean, look, they're showing you the genius of this franchise. And the spirit of Tex Schramm lives on in Jerry Jones. Think about this for a second. The most valuable franchise in American team sports is the Cowboys. They're #1. Their real estate isn't especially expensive. The Dallas-Arlington area is not especially densely populated compared to other major markets.
What are you, a real estate agent now? What are you, a real estate agent?
He reads a lot. He knows about everything.
They don't win a lot. They don't have the greatest track record. There are other teams that have won more championships. They haven't had the most recent success. And yet Rob Gronkowski and now Stephen A. Smith have been successfully baited into giving them free publicity. This is the reason they have this delusional fan base, Stephen A. It's not just that their fans are suckers. We're all suckers. Tex Schramm and Jerry Jones still winning.
Imitation, the sincerest form of flattery.
They can sit up there all they want to. In the end, they don't win, but they act like they're winners. That's what makes them disgusting and delusional. Period.
Back to San Diego. The Chargers say rookie defensive end Joey Bosa rejected the team's best contract offer. The team stands by their offer that it was both fair and structurally consistent with the contracts of every other Chargers player. Since he turned the deal down, the team will now restructure their offer since Joey will be unable to contribute for the full 16-game season. Here's Damian Woody.
I would hold out the whole year and re-enter the draft.
Why?
Because what the Chargers are asking of him, no other player at that slot, at #3 slot, has done before since the new collective bargaining agreement. See, here's the thing. As a former player looking at it, I'm looking at it as, okay, we agreed to a rookie wage scale, but here we are, and now you want more. So it's like, when is enough enough? We gave you a rookie wage scale to basically, just hog-tie some of the rookie pay, but now you want Joey Bosa to have, deferred payments and not being able to double dip. That's something that no other player at the number 3 slot has ever done. So why should he agree to something like that?
That was Damian Woody saying that he should hold out and re-enter the draft term. Should Bosa sit this season out?
Personally, I would not. I just think there's too much to lose then. Now, he's made his point. There's no doubt about that. He has a history. His family had made their point in these situations. But I think when you look at his situation, he's got to ask himself, if I decide to hold out, the Chargers still have my rights. Now, maybe they trade him. Maybe week 8 they trade him. Likelihood of that happening? Probably not.
I don't think they're allowed to.
Right.
If they don't trade him soon, I don't think they're allowed to until the end, and then until he gets to re-enter the draft.
And the problem he has is that what he's betting on is that I'm going to be drafted in the top 5 again next year. I don't know that to be true because he's been a year out of football, and there lies the problem. You're not on tape anymore. You're a guy that played college football a year ago. Even though he's a young guy, the problem is, are you going to be the top 3 player? Some people will say, man, I don't know about that. So the money that you could have taken this year, you've lost. And you never get that money back. You're never going to get it back. And you can say, well, we'll get it back 10 years from now. It's still money you lost. You don't get the money you lost back. It never works that way because you left it on the table and you said, you know, I'm not going to play football. So I just think at the end, he's made a point. He needs to play as fast as he can, get these years done so he gets his second contract. Now, that's the big one. It's not the first one. The public opinion will say, well, the $17 million is out of no. It's your second contract. It's the contract Josh Norman got through his play of being a professional football player. Yep. That's why he got that money. That's what Joey Bosa has to do. You want your clock to go as fast as you can. Get in the league, go play for 4 years, be a great player, and then you sit there and you can demand things. He's got better leverage then, in my opinion.
You know, I agree with Damian Woody here. And look, it's not like Curt Flood. I understand that, like, him making a sacrifice of a year of his career and all that, it's not like labor situation in football is where baseball was or any of the major sports where 30 and 40 and 50 years ago, these guys are getting rich. I get that. So it's not exactly the same. But the argument will always be there for the teams and for the league to maintain power over the players in an unfair way, really, because there's no other competing league that they can, you know, it's like collective bargaining is really from the owners, take it or leave it, because last time there was a lockout, our ratings barely changed. People just like watching football, and they essentially have a monopoly. There's no other league that can offer to make these guys rich. So I get that. But what Damian Woody is basically making the point, I feel, I don't want to speak from him, but my interpretation of what he's saying, and I feel the same way, is if it's always about what you're losing, and the fact that it's going to be difficult, and the fact that it's impractical, and the fact that it may not even be in your best, certainly short-term interest, if that always trumps making a sacrifice to make it better for the players' union, or even make it better for yourself down the road, they're never going to win anything. Like, these guys are never going to get any concessions. And, Coach, your point about he's made his point is only true if he stays the course, unless the point is that it's only going to get worse for him. He's not going to get drafted highly. He's going to lose a valuable year of experience, and will be a counterexample. And they could point to that. See, don't do what Joey Bosa did. If that's your point, I get it. Otherwise, I don't think he's made his point unless he holds out.
I think he's made his... Go ahead, Stephen A.
Where I'm at and where I'm struggling with this, guys, is that, you know, on its face, I disagree with Max and Damian. But I will openly confess, I need to grasp a better understanding, because when I'm listening to Max or when I'm listening to David and Woody, I literally find myself asking, what the hell are y'all talking about? Because what is it that you know, I understand that, you know, San Diego is you know, they're addicted to their way of doing things and they're trying to shortchange him to some degree. I get that. But again, Coach, I'm going to go back to the 3 categories that I'm paying attention to. According to the Chargers, if they're telling the truth, an initial signing bonus payment that is larger than any rookie has received in the past 2 NFL drafts. So a signing bonus larger than any rookie has received in the last 2 NFL drafts. We all know what those numbers are. They're on the record saying their numbers are larger. They're not talking about themselves. They're talking about any rookie has received in the last 2 NFL drafts in terms of signing bonus. More money than anybody. Then they say more money in 2016 than every rookie in this year's class except Carson Wentz, who was picked a slot before you. There's no crime there. If anything, Carson Wentz should have a problem, or Jared Goff would have a problem with Carson Wentz getting more than him since he was the #1 overall pick. So when we look at that one, and then the 3rd category, the largest payment and highest percentage of signing bonus received in the first calendar year of any Chargers first-round pick. Now, that doesn't matter as much because those picks for the Chargers fell out of the top 10. So we understand that's no big deal. They're buffering themselves there. But the first 2 categories, largest signing bonus and more money than anybody other than Carson Wentz. I'm like, you're a rookie coming into the league. What is Damian Woody talking about? I disagree with him and Max on its face, but I must confess I'm at a loss because they sound like Joey Bosa's getting screwed over here. I did agree that was the case when they were talking about the language and other stuff a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But based on what they're saying right now, it seems like they've leaned towards giving him most of what he's wanted. And if you're talking about a signing bonus that's more than anybody, and a one-year salary, meaning his first year, that's more than anybody's but Carson Wentz, I don't understand the problem here. I really don't.
Well, I think, he's caught up on the wording. Obviously, if he doesn't, he wants all his money up now. He wants all his bonus money up front now, or he wants the ability, if he should get cut, or he can double dip if someone else signs him. Right. Well, first of all, I wouldn't. That's the last thing I'd be thinking about. We're going to get cut. if you're a first-round pick, third-round pick, right. The player picked in the draft, I would say if I'm worried about me getting cut, that's not a good idea. Okay, I do know this about the National Football League. And I will say this. They kick the ball off at 1 o'clock. And they will kick the ball off at 1 o'clock with Joey Bosa or without Joey Bosa. And he will be history if he doesn't sign. We won't even talk about him anymore. We'll be talking about games. That's it. That's how the league works. And
Coach, you're right. Joey Bosa, Max, is the number 3 overall pick. What the hell are you thinking about getting cut 3-4 years down the road and you won't be able to double dip?
But you guys are talking about the pragmatic kind of aspect of all this, and on those points, you may be right. Although the Chargers are putting out a lot of propaganda about their offer right now, that's their analysis of their offer.
I believe that.
But let's take them at their word as you are doing and saying, then what's the problem? In that case, I admire Joey Bosa because he's saying, wait. At this moment, he is. We'll see, Coach, as you say, what actually happens. But at this moment, he's saying, wait, there's a principle at stake here, and this is a battleground between the league and the players. There's a slotting system. There's been precedent set. If you're drafted here, you get this or this. They're saying neither. He's saying, it's going to be one or the other, and he's willing to make a sacrifice maybe for that.
Go for it.
I'll give you the other. Here's the other. 1 o'clock, they're kicking it off.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You want to be on your couch watching for a whole year? No.
I'll be here that Sunday.
With Tom Brady or without him. With Aaron Rodgers or without him.
Willing to miss the season? Willing to miss the season, Max?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right.
It depends on are you principled? Is it important enough to you?
Max Molly, Coach, remember the scouting report on him, for all of the superlatives they threw out there, they did highlight hustle on and off. Some weeks he looked like he wanted it. Some weeks he didn't. So again, knowing that, you're still sure that that's good for him to miss the season.
How bad do you want it?
Got 2 more weeks.
Get there.
2 more weeks. 1 o'clock.
Joey,
Chargers are winning the PR.
We want to see that one, or they're kicking off without you. Herm, thank you so much.
Thank you.